30% of the folks probably come through the door are, I know mead, I love mead, I haven't had mead in years because I can't find any place that makes it good. And they're in here like every other week buying like 4, 5, 6 bottles and taking them home with them, right? 70% are people that have heard of mead maybe or have never heard of mead, but they want to try it, it's something new, and they're just kind of checking it out, exploring a little bit. But there's a surprisingly, like I say, a surprisingly large amount of people that know it, and they're like, oh man, I've been looking for a meadery in the area for years, so it's cool. Yeah. In a primary form, mead is honey wine, and it's just honey, water, and yeast, and so that's considered a traditional mead, but mead is more than just that. So you've got this example here, this is our hop nectar, that's a metheglin, and metheglins are meads that use herbs and spices. Then you have melomels that use fruit, and honey is always the constant, right? We have the two traditionals that we have here, and I'll come back to those in a second, but then you have sizers. Sizers use apple cider. People think I'm talking with a lisp. It's sizer. I'm not making these terms up. These are historical in nature too. And there's other varieties of mead that are out there, but that's just a few examples. If you look at the traditionals, so just like wine, grape varietals, just like beer malts that are out there, you have different varietals of honey. So Tupelo honey is what we use here. Wildflower honey goes in here. So depending on what nectar source the bees are going to, you've got different varietals. So wildflower, Tupelo, orange blossom, buckwheat, clover, on and on and on. This is the Tupelo honey. This is the wildflower honey. You can definitely see the color difference. And then one of our traditionals is a dried Tupelo, and this is a sweeter Tupelo. So, and that's kind of a myth that we debunk a little bit too, is that people in their minds think, oh, mead's going to be sweet. It's honey, right? It's going to be really sweet. I don't like sweet wine, or I don't like sweet things. Mead can be sweet, dry, dessert level sweet, anywhere in between. It can go across the gamut. A lot of the meads that were readily available are different than what we make, and there's a strategy behind our mead, and when we make it, I try to layer flavors to make them as complex as possible. We're distributed Youngstown, Boardman, Cleveland, Akron, all over, right? So we're growing our distribution. We're actually in some talks right now with distributors that will expand our distribution base all over the state. We've also got some conversations going with out-of-state distributors, which will be great. As we continue to grow, I have a very keen eye on maintaining the quality of our ingredients and all of those things that I think are critical to making a good mead as we continue to scale up and grow.